This one's for you
big, fat, white, nasty, smelling fat bitch. Why you took me off the motherfucking schedule with your trifling, dirty, white, racist ass, big, fat bitch?
If that's how I feel, that's how I feel. You can't yell at me. You can't be mad. Everyone who just watched that dance routine is like, you didn't get fired because you're gay. You got fired because you exceeded the weight limit. Hey guys, if you guys have been here for a while, you know that my channel used to be based on story times. I used to have so many story times and I haven't done them in a while. This is something that happened last June and some of the stuff in the beginning of this story might not make sense to you, but just listen to the whole story and it'll all come together and you'll be like, oh, that's why this seems off. For those of you who don't know, I've worked at a chain restaurant for almost 7 years now, I want to say. I don't know, I lost count, but it's somewhere around 7 years. I've worked there for so long, so much hard work into this restaurant, okay? Don't ask me why. When I first got the job, I lied and said I had like 3 years of serving experience, so they made me a server and they started me right off the bat. It is known to be one of the hardest chain restaurants to work in. Like, we have to do so much. And let's just say I was failing. I was on the chopping block of getting fired almost every shift I worked. Everyone hated me. The employees hated me. Zach worked there at the time. He hated me. He's now my boyfriend of 4.5 years, for those of you who don't know. And my managers hated me. The one thing I had, the one thing that saved me was my personality. I'm a nice person. I will never be mean. I'll be sassy to my family and friends, but if you're a stranger, I'll most likely never be mean to you. Unless you piss me off. After I got over the hump of sucking, ew. The hump of sucking. After I got over the hurdles of not being good at my job in the first few months, my first 2 years at this job were great. I became so good at my job. My managers loved me, especially the one manager who wound up firing me. Go figure. This manager, we'll call her Christina, was always writing me rewards, always so sweet, and let me tell you, was such a good manager. I will still say that till this day. She was an amazing manager. She was. I gotta give it to her. She knew that place inside and out, all the nook and crannies. She was on her hands and knees, get your head out of the gutter, scrubbing the floors, under the sinks. Like, she was a good manager. But in the beginning, she loved me, like the first 2 years. Until I came out of the closet. When I tell you guys a flip switched, I said it slower that time to make sure I really got it right. And in my head, I thought I got it right. The second I came out of the closet, I'm telling you, like, this was known between all the other managers, all the other employees. Everybody knew she hated my guts. And it was so sad. I loved her and I really thought she loved me. And it took me like a little while for it to process. I kept on justifying it like, oh, maybe she's having a bad day. Maybe she's having a bad day. And then a year of her shitting on my life, I was like, okay, this bitch hates me. She hates my guts. She was the type of person who, like, trigger warning, if a celebrity like commits suicide, she would be like,
oh my god, I don't even feel bad, like, go cry into your money.
She was that bitch. Like, that bitch. Obviously everyone I work with knows I do YouTube and sometimes they'll like hype it up, they think it's really cool. She couldn't stand that. She'd always be like,
you couldn't pay me to watch your videos.
And let me tell you, above all, if you're gonna take anything from this video, aggressively passive aggressive. In the restaurant industry, it's very fast paced. So if someone says like, oh, I need a cup of ranch, the person you're saying it to says heard. Constantly, everyone in the restaurant is always just saying heard, heard, heard. And she would use it in the most passive aggressive way. She'd walk by you and be like, heard, we're not doing anything. Like, bitch, what did you hear? I didn't say anything. She always just made me feel stupid. To the point where her whole career there, literally no one liked her. Not even the regional manager liked her. I heard that through the grapevine, bitch. He didn't like you. She was passive aggressive to everyone, but everyone knew she had like a vendetta against me. The first time it was ever confirmed by another manager that Christina hated me was when she took a write-up form, filled the whole entire thing out with my name, all my information, but left the reason clear and the date clear. She held the write-up form up in front of the other managers and she was like,
we're gonna get him.
But me and the other managers were like this. So they let me know that one. Strike one. I'm only telling you guys minor stories in this video to help mold the story for when we get to the main part at the end. But I could seriously have a whole series on the shit she has done to me. So if you guys did want to see another video on all the stuff she's done to me, let me know. There is so many. There was just always a target on my back. Even with the dumbest little shit. I remember one time I was trying to get through this little area and I couldn't get through because I have a fat, juicy ass. I kept on saying, excuse me, over and over to the server, who's my good friend, by the way. She was just standing there not moving. I personally think because she was high off her ass. But the third excuse me was a little loud. Everyone knows I'm loud. They all know my personality there. She thought it was funny. Anyway, dumb bitch Christina turns around and with her whole chest was like,
It's excuse me, please.
Now, I have manners, but I've never heard anybody say, excuse me, please, let alone be screamed at for not saying it. She proceeded to call all the servers who were working that night into a little gathering and was like,
Everybody, we're gonna have to teach Andrew some manners tonight, okay?
at this point I knew she hated me, so I couldn't like pop off on her. I had to be nice. I was able to pop off on my other managers. We were friends. They wouldn't like fire me. But her, she would dust off that blank write-up from 2 years ago and fire my ass. And if you work in a restaurant, you know that you have no time to say, excuse me, please. Where's my restaurant people at? Sound off below. Let the people who don't work in restaurants know that excuse me, please is ridiculous on like a busy Saturday night. Literally, some people who work there that are bigger than me hip check me into another fucking zip code, let alone say, excuse me, please. I don't know why I'm getting so caught up on that because that's literally 0.001 of all the shit she's done to me. Anyway, she had a little son that she never shut the fuck up about, but whatever. At the end of the night when we were both closing, I would always like make conversation with her and she would make conversation with me too. Whenever it would come up in conversation of like her young son liking something feminine, such as the color pink. I'm not feminine. I like the color pink. It has nothing to do with being feminine. If ever her son liked the color pink or anything feminine, she would always like get really weird about it and be like,
Oh, my husband had to talk to him and like let him know we don't like the color pink.
obviously got very weird about her son liking feminine things, even though liking the color pink isn't feminine. But whatever. My straight ass brother's favorite color is pink. Long story short, she would always just be very weird about gay stuff. So anyway, at the end of 2017, some dumb ass crossed over a double yellow line, T-boned me, and gave me 3 herniated discs in my back. I was out of work for 9 months. I had to get a lot of paperwork filled out from my place of employment in order to get paid while I was injured. Let me tell you, Christina did everything for me. Filling out all the paperwork for me, calling me to make sure everything was okay, doing everything she could to get me paid while I was outside of work. And I was like, honestly, you know what? I get nasty with people at work sometimes. I'm fucking annoying. Maybe she just gets annoyed with me. She has a long day. Maybe when it comes down to it and I really need her, she's a good person. I spent 2 months thinking that. I was getting paid. She really did everything she could for me. I was like, oh, Christina, I love you. Honestly, I was wrong about you. Christina, baby. You're a good person. Until I talked to my other manager and found out she was doing everything she could to keep me out of work for as long as possible so she wouldn't have to deal with me. Bitch. Low-key, I was living for it. But her intentions weren't there. Before we get into the final story of when I got fired, just know that I worked there for 7 years, and every single day it was something else with her, where she hated my guts. I would really have to sit down and write out all bullet points to make different videos for a whole series of how much she hated me. My other managers can vouch for how much she hated me. My other employees can vouch for how much she hated me. Please just take my word for it. There was something about me that she just hated. Let the final story commence. Alright, let's get into the day I got fired. I was bartending, it was a slower Sunday. You guys know I'm afraid to break the rules. I've never done drugs, I tried weed like once. I waited till I was 21 to drink. I just have too much anxiety about getting caught. So I never give anything away for free. So one Sunday, last June, I was working the bar. It was a slow day, not many people. My best friend came in to visit me. She sat in the corner of the bar where there's an outlet so she could plug in her laptop because she was studying to become an actuary. For those of you who don't know what an actuary is, I barely know what it is. It's like the highest career you can get in the math field. My best friend's a genius. She hardly drinks. We've been best friends for almost 20 years and we've only been drunk together like 4 times ever. All this stuff is gonna make sense. I promise. I'm setting up the story. One of my best friend's major achievements is also she's a CrossFit coach. She eats very well. She's in very good shape. She was there for hours and all she drank was water with lemon the whole time. Eventually dinner time came around and the restaurant got really busy, so I had so many drinks to make. Another bartender who was serving that day came behind the bar to help me make drinks. When it's busy, this happens all the time, but we both made the same drink. We both made a frozen margarita. Whatever, it happens. I know what you guys are thinking.
You drank the margarita. You deserve to get fired.
That's not what happened. Quiet down. The margarita sat and sat and sat for like 45 minutes. I was gonna save it in case someone else ordered the same margarita, I could just give it to them. It was a frozen margarita, eventually it melted. And just remember, the frozen margarita melted. Remember that. When we have what we called is a dead drink, which is a drink that we made that we don't actually need, we are encouraged to give it away to a bar guest who wants it. My general manager, who's above dumbass stupid bitch Christina, encourages us to give it away. Because if a bar guest sees that we're pouring it down the drain, they get upset. We're encouraged by my general manager and all our other managers to give away a dead drink. After like 45 minutes, I took the drinks and put them in front of my friend, and I was like, you need to try these. They are the best margaritas. She took maybe 2 or 3 sips, didn't even finish it because she doesn't drink that much. I'm not gonna leave this part of the story out because this could be important for her side of the story. They got a blackberry lemonade, and because they don't drink, I was like, oh, let me make it special for you. So I dressed it up like a margarita. I put it in a margarita glass with sugar on the rim, and I gave them blackberry lemonade, which was stupid on my part because I could have been giving stuff away, but they should have just asked me. I was working there for 6 years at this point. She could have just asked me. I know she fucking hates me. Why would I give stuff away on the shift she's working? Another manager who was working that shift, who is actually the bar manager, I let her know that the margaritas were dead and she put them in the waste log. They were accounted for. They were in the waste log. It's not like I'm giving stuff away and inventory is gonna be fucked. Once I saw my friend wasn't drinking the margarita anymore, I took it, dumped it down the drain. That was that. Once the end of the night started approaching, this old man who comes in all the time, he just drinks a little glass of Cabernet every single time he comes in, always asking about my YouTube channel. He works at a hardware store and wants to start a YouTube channel of his own, and he always asks for my help, but he never starts it. I love him. And he loved me. Christina comes behind the bar to do some dumb shit. I don't know. She was always breathing down the back of my neck. And he's just telling her how much he loves me and how he's so grateful that I work here. In her passive aggressive way, she's like joking around. She's like,
Enjoy him working here now because it's not going to be for long.
and I was like, and everyone was like, little did I know she meant it. She was always giving me extra tasks to do, like the dumbest shit. I'm talking about like steam the stainless steel. I was Cinderella. I was Cinderella, bitch. And everyone knew it. I knew it too, but I couldn't do anything about it. She didn't do it to anyone else, and no one else had to do this dumb shit. Oh, and in case I didn't tell you, I got fired for that margarita I gave my friend. So let that sink in really quick. The end of the night rolls around, and she gives me the extra task of scrubbing the floors by hand. She stood there with the flashlight and made me get on my hands and knees and scrub under the sinks. Do you know how disgusting it is under those sinks? I want to throw up. But I did it. Anything to get on her good side at this point. This bitch knew she was about to fire me, made me get on my hands and knees and scrub the floor. I know you don't watch my YouTube channel, but if you're watching this, fuck you! At the end of the night, I finished all my work. I was in the office with her, like closing out. We were having a really good conversation for like 25 minutes. It was one of those times where I was like, she's not that bad. I like her. I could fuck with her. And right before I was about to leave, she shuts the door and was like,
Andrew, I need to talk to you about something.
I was like, yeah, go ahead. What is it? She tells me that she saw margaritas in front of my friend for the whole 4 hours she was there. My friend, who was with her laptop studying to become an actuary, who had 3 sips of a margarita that was dead and accounted for. In the nicest way possible, I explained all that to her. In my head, I wasn't nervous because I was like, this isn't a big deal. Everyone gives away dead drinks. And we're told to do that by the general manager, right? Our general manager had a baby and was on maternity leave, so her general manager crown was passed off and given to Christina. She was the temporary general manager. She was like, this is a fireable cause, and technically it would be left up to the general manager. Oh wait, I am the general manager right now. Like maybe without the finger, but she literally said it like that. Oh, you fucking little bitch. You knew? You knew this whole time? You just had me in fucking doggy style position, scraping the floors under the sink. You just told the bar regular,
Oh, he's not gonna work here for long.
it was all flooding in. I was like, this fucking bitch. But I kept my cool. And then, keep in mind, being a bartender in this restaurant is like the highest job you can have. So if anything, I would get a warning. If anything times 2, they would take me off being a bartender. I'd be suspended from being a bartender and just be a server. If anything times 3, she would tell me to go home when it happened and talk to the other managers. But no, what did she do? The second it happened, she called corporate and told them immediately, instead of talking to me and asking what really happened. Why would you call corporate? Oh yeah, because you hate my guts. Corporate sent her an email and she was supposed to rate it out of 1 to 10. 1 is like, I don't know, some dumb shit. 10 was theft. What do you think she rated it? I'll give you a second. A 10! She rated it a 10. She was like,
I'm personally very uncomfortable with you working for the company now, and it's gonna be up to corporate if they want to take it up with the cops.
I was like, what? The cops? But what really grinded my gears is she knew exactly what she was doing. And I knew exactly what she was doing. For the sake of the title of this video, every bartender, every single shift, always had dead drinks. It's something that always happens, no matter what. Just so happens she was the only manager on, I was the only bartender on. This was her chance. She called corporate and she fired me that night. During the shift, she was openly talking about firing me to other employees. No one wanted to tell me, including another manager that I was friendly with, but in her defense, she said she saw a whole stack of cups in front of my friend. Christina kept on coming behind the bar to help me, and she would take cups and stack them just to the side of the sink where my friend was sitting. I appreciated it, she was helping me, but really she was going in the back to get the other manager as proof that there was a stack of cups in front of my friend. Because you need 2 managers to see something in order to fire someone. Now where Christina fucked up is you also need 2 managers in the room when you fire someone. It was only me and Christina. So I was fired. I texted the bar manager who I was friendly with that saw the stack of cups. I let her know what happened. When I tell you she felt so bad, so my 3 managers other than Christina were 3 of the many people willing to vouch for me to corporate about Christina hating me. They told me things that would blow your mind. Like when talking to them, she wouldn't even refer to me as Andrew. She'd use vulgar names when referencing me. I could sit here and pick apart every shift. I've worked there for 7 years, but you guys know how unrealistic that would be. So you really need to take my word for it. And I don't play the gay card. I do not play the gay card, but she loved me until I came out. Long story short, I told my other manager that not only did she fire me by herself when I know there's supposed to be 2 people there, but it's gonna be a real shame when I go to corporate and let them know that I feel like she hated me because I was gay. Again, I don't use the gay card. I was fired, I said that to my other manager, and 4 days later, I get a call from Christina, and she was like,
Andrew?
and I was like, yeah?
I just want to let you know that I violated code when I fired you by myself. So I'm calling to let you know that you still have your job and we still get to work together.
My hand to God, that's exactly how she said it. We still get to work together. Between her breaking violation and me scaring her, I got my job back. Unfortunately, I was never able to speak to corporate, so they still think that I was giving away free drinks and that I only have my job now because Christina broke violation. I don't even know if I work there anymore. I mean, quarantine's been going on for 2 months. After 6 years of working together, 2 of them being lovely, 4 of them being miserable, Christina moved to another state. She requested every single person we work with on Facebook except your boy. That's how it be. It's been a while since I did a story time and I genuinely think I'm a terrible storyteller. You guys love my story times. I don't get it. Follow my social medias down below.